Where's the live setting on Facebook? Do you see it? It's here. Thank you. And go live. Okay, so we've got the live streaming on Facebook, on YouTube for those who don't have social media, and we've got Instagram going up there. So for those of you who are on the live streams, we're getting started a little late and we have a few rolling in still. So I'm sorry if we have a couple people rolling into the screen, but I want to be mindful of your time and get everything started. So my beautiful Joanna Kuhn is going to give me an intro, and I'll be next.
All right. It is my privilege to be with Raina tonight and all of you guys. We are good friends, and I just want to welcome you to the class. This vision board class has been so impactful for so many people. Raina, a little bit about Raina. She's been in wellness for about 16 years. She's taught mind, body, soul wellness, and she's very good at it. She's traveled the world and nonstop for about the last 5 years. Recently took a break from that, and she's lived on 4 different continents. She's publishing 2 books this winter that we're really excited about. We have a retreat this fall that's coming up that we'll tell you a little bit more about. We'll teaser there. And my part in this, as far as the wellness goes, is sort of self-care, more along the skincare line. I am a Rodan Field skincare professional, and everyone that's in the class tonight physically will get a nice little mini facial to go. And if you are interested in looking at my website, for those of you online, it is JoKewin, JoKewin.myrandf.com. And you can let me know if you have any questions on any of that stuff. But you all, here is Raina. I'm so thrilled to have her with us tonight. You are going to love this.
All right, thank you guys. I just want to give Joanna a huge thanks. She is my organizer and so many things. She gets these nights organized every month with a bunch of ladies. She does ladies' nights. And we've done this vision board class before, and we've had such amazing results. The last time we had someone just like cry because she was so inspired to finally come into a higher vibration of her life and be inspired to do more. So I hope that everyone here and all of you watching are also inspired to do more. But more about Joanna. I mean, she is incredible. She is a wife and a mom, and she has her Rodan Fields skincare business, and she does insurance as well. So she just does so much, and then also makes sure to create that downtime for herself so that she's able to give 100% in all these different areas. She's just incredible, and thank you so much, Joanna. I really appreciate it. So, my dad loves to tell these Irish jokes, right? He tells these Irish jokes involving this character called Paddy O'Brien. And so Paddy O'Brien is looking for a job. There's no more jobs in the country, so he has to come into the big city. And he is driving through this parking structure, and he can't find a parking space. And he begins to pray. He says, Father, please find me a parking space. If you find me a parking space, I'll go to Mass every Sunday. I swear it. Nothing opens up. And so he's driving around a little bit more. He says, Father, give me a parking space and I'll be nicer to me wife. Nothing. So finally he's driving around, sweating some whiskey bullets from the night before. And he says, Father, I'm desperate. If you just give me a parking space, I will give up the drink. Lo and behold, this big, beautiful parking space opens up as if from the heavens. And Paddy O'Brien says, never mind, Father, I found one. And so the point of this funny story is sometimes when we don't write down our goals, write down our prayers, our visions, our intentions, make a board, something physical that we can remember to look at later, we often say, never mind, Father, I did it. You know, wow, what a coincidence that worked out. And we manifested this. We prayed for this. And so a great thing about vision boards is that you can know that you're co-creating with the divine. And I want to talk to everybody tonight about co-creating with the divine. I truly believe, just as we say in yoga, namaste, the divinity in me honors the divinity in you, that we all have this divine breath in us. And everybody is this image of the divine, this creator of all. And it's our mission to create with that creator. So tonight we're going to learn a little bit more about that. I am going to be using some words from the Bible, Jesus, kind of stuff like this, God. If that's not your language, please feel free to use universe, whatever that language is for you. If it's not God and Jesus in the Bible, manifesting still for you, and making vision boards is definitely still for you. The Bible is just the text I'm most familiar with, and I'll be using some examples that are great stories to learn from, regardless of what background you are coming from. So I am a huge quantum physics nerd. I love to study anything to do with quantum physics and how we affect our reality. And one of my favorite quantum physicists is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he talks about becoming no one, no time, no place in order to enter the quantum field of unlimited possibilities. So let me break that down a little bit. It's kind of becoming, forgetting about our background, forgetting about our environment, forgetting about our body and our circumstances and all these things. And then we can enter unlimited possibilities. But when we are thinking, oh, my background's this, my environment's that, my funds are this, it's very hard to enter that quantum field of unlimited possibilities. I think when Jesus said that we need to die to ourselves, that first will be last, take up your cross to enter the kingdom of heaven, that was first century words for saying we need to become no one. This creation spirit within us. So it's every other person. And when we live out our creations, which I'm going to show you more of how I've done this in my own life, we inspire others to live out their creations as well. So who's heard the term prosperity preaching? Anyone? Yeah. I actually had never heard of it until I moved to a more conservative area of the country. So for those of you who are like me, prosperity preaching is a term used for people who kind of, sometimes you'll see those TV preachers who's like, if you send me the deed to your house, you'll be saved. And if you do this, Jesus will give you a Ferrari, And yeah, we don't want to make God our genie in the bottle, but we just kind of bark out requests and expect there to be no relationship there with the divine. However, I do believe when I look at scriptures and I look at God in the scriptures, I see a good, good Father. I see a giver of good gifts. I see this beautiful imagery of abundance, overflow, opening the floodgates of heaven, that there's so much blessing, there isn't room enough to store. I see when he feeds the multitudes. Let's not forget that he's taking this little boy's lunch and feeding thousands of people. That's one miracle. But then he doesn't just feed them just enough to get home everybody's needs. He actually feeds them all to the full, and then there's baskets of leftovers. So to me, this is a God who not just provides for our basics just enough, but he's a God of abundance, a God of overflow. And we see imagery of barns overflowing and all these beautiful descriptions of the goodness, the abundance, the overflow of God. And so again, whatever words you use for that, I want you to rest in that idea that the divine is good, the creation is good, I'm good, people around me are good, and we have this divine breath. And if we can recognize that divine breath and co-create with that divinity, we can change the world for the better. And so sometimes when people think about vision boards, it's usually a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard to put things that are not material on a material board. However, it might start there, and I'm going to tell you more about how it grows into the characteristics in life and to the more joyful things. I heard someone once say that the material things in life that we buy are to be able to hold and do things with all the people with the non-material things. I'm not explaining that well, but it's something along the lines of like, we have money and things so that we can have the experiences money can't buy. And so like when we go on a vacation with our family, the joy there, money can't buy. When we have a big dinner with our friends, that community, money can't buy. But we do need the money to go out to dinner, and we do need the money to go on the vacation. So focusing on the things is not all bad. And I want us to get that out of our head that it's bad, and know that even as I look in scriptures as well, I see God blessing people materially all over the Bible. So we see Abraham, Isaac, Joseph, Job, David, Solomon, Esther, Ruth, the list goes on of people that he's blessed with material things. We even see when Solomon asked God for wisdom, God is so excited that he's like, I'll give you a bunch of wealth too, you know? And so to me that shows like we live on a temporal earth and tangible things are important too. And again, those tangible things help us have those experiences money can't buy. One of my favorite characters that displays this is Joseph. And if you don't know the story of Joseph, he has this dream, a vision in his heart. And the problem was he woke up and told his family this dream. And so he dreamed that they would all bow down to him. And as you can imagine, they didn't care for that dream very much. And his brothers end up throwing him in a ditch. They're going to kill him. And another one says, well, let's not kill him. Let's make some money off of it and sell him as a slave. So they sell him as a slave. And as if that's not bad enough, when he gets to Egypt, he's doing a great job. He gets wrongfully imprisoned. And then he keeps this dream in his heart, and he's supposed to get out of prison, and they forget about him for a couple of years after he's supposed to get out. And finally, down the road, I think it's like 30 years, he interprets the dream of the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh puts him in charge of everything. So he has every resource in all of Egypt. And he is blessed with a wife, with property, with all these kinds of things. But beyond that, he's also blessed with more wisdom. And we'll see this as the story unfolds. So he's blessed himself, and then he's blessed to be able to help save all of Egypt and the outlying territories, which include his family of Israel. And then when his family comes in and it comes down, they bow down to him because they don't recognize him. He's a little bit wiser this time. He doesn't jump up and say like, "Look, I told you were gonna all bow down to me." He tests them a little bit. He makes sure their hearts have changed before he's just gonna open his heart back up to them. He's not gonna be in this codependent relationship again where he's like, "Let me share everything on my heart with you, whether it's a good idea or not." So we see in that story how Joseph takes things, he helps the community, and he gains wisdom. So it started with, one thing, and it led to many others. So as we are lifted up, we're often blessed to be a blessing to many other people. We're blessed to serve the world in a bigger way. And so, again, whatever you put on your vision board, whatever you are praying for, hoping for, dreaming for, know that it will become bigger than that. It will become bigger than you. And so this is my vision board from 10 years ago. And this is what thriving looked for me back then. Now this board was about 4 feet tall. It was on my door at my parents' house. A few years after I got divorced and I was super broke, I was at the lowest vibration of lack when I made this. And I watched The Secret. I heard about vision boards, and I'm like, why not give it a shot? I'm just gonna put stuff up on this board. And so you can see that there are things on here as basic as healthy food. Because if I went to Whole Foods back then, I could afford 2 things, maybe 1. And my dream was to be able to walk into a healthy food store and buy whatever I wanted because it was healthy, because it was going to nourish me, and not because it was the cheapest thing on the rack. But then I went extreme as well because I'm like, you know what? If this stuff works, let's just go big. And so I have private jets on here. I have yachts on here. I have Paris. I had never been to Paris or Europe at all before. I've never been on a private flight. I've never been on a yacht. I had never done just about any of this. And for those of you who are here, I'm going to pass some photos around and show me really doing these things. For those of you online, just stop my screen. You'll see all these pictures of me really doing a lot of this. There's whitewater rafting on there. There's one I posted recently of me snowboarding with all my friends, and I'm actually doing like this exact same pose. And I didn't realize it until later when I was the vision board. Oh, not only was I doing the experience, like that was so ingrained in my mind from looking at this for so many years that I was even doing the same pose in the photo. So I ended up doing all this like 5 years or so after making this vision board. Now, I want to express, I was at a very low point actually doing this vision board. I was in a state of lack. And really after this first got made, it only got worse. Like my brother ended up dying within a year of making this. So I went through like some of the worst depression I had ever been through in my life. He was my best friend. We did everything together, and suddenly he was gone. And so I went super low. I moved to the middle of the country. I had to get rid of my business because the whole economy had crashed out at that time, and I was getting it ready to sell. And basically had to just give it away because clients were losing their jobs and their businesses, and they weren't paying me $110 an hour to train them anymore, or any of my trainers. I had to get rid of the trainers. So things didn't just automatically, I put them on a board and spring up and become my life. It took a while. However, just like Joseph going into the prison and having all these hard times, I kept the vision in my heart. And I was a bit like Joseph too. I wasn't very wise about it. I would tell people, oh, I'm going to be on private jets, and I'm going to be this. I would hear later I'd get made fun of behind my back, I could have been more wise about who I expressed these dreams to. And that's an important thing too, when we're talking about our dreams, we're manifesting our dreams. Share these dreams with other people who have vision boards, with other people who are going after their goals and their dreams, because people who have given up on their dreams want you to give up on yours. They are upset and, grumpy about how they haven't done anything with their life. So if you're doing something with yours, they often try to shut that down. So that wisdom I gained in this time was, be around high vibration people. Be around people who lift you up, who encourage you. And that's going to help you really manifest these things more quickly and more in the level of what you were looking to do in the first place. So when I made this, it was totally selfish. It was all for me. Everything on this board was me. I want this, I want that, I want that. And that's okay. If that's where you start, it's totally okay. Because here's the thing. As I became full, because here I was in a place of emptiness, I just wanted all these things. I can imagine actually having them, I just wanted. And then I just got more and more wants. But when I started actually doing, becoming, having all these things, I was in such a place of fullness. I was blessed to be a blessing. I was able to make other people's dreams come true. And so you'll see in these pictures here, and those who want to stalk my screen, don't worry, I won't care if you like a picture that's like 52 weeks old. And so you'll see pictures in there with my mom and me in Paris. And so I was able to bring her out to Europe for a month. And she came and we went, she saw this picture in a magazine of a restaurant that was in a cave, and she wanted to do this. This is like her dream. And so I didn't find exactly that, but I found something very similar. For those of you who are listening in Mallorca, I went to Roxy's Bar in Mallorca, which is all on a cliffside, and we had this amazing lunch with the best sangria in the world. Trust me, I've tasted sangria all over the world. That was the best over there. And we got to make her dream come true. So, she didn't even have a vision board, but she had this magazine that she wanted to experience, and we experienced it. A few years before that, I called her up. I was going to New York, and I knew I'd be there for a good chunk of time, and I said, hey, if I get you a plane ticket, will you come out here? And she's like, yes, and so I flew her out, and she was able to see all the storefronts at Christmas time. It's something, she'd watched all the movies. She'd always wanted to see the storefronts at Christmas time, and they were just putting them up, so she got to see them being built, and then we walked through them all. And so I got to make her dreams come true on top of mine. I got to bring a lot of families to Disneyland because that's my thing. I go to Disneyland way too much for an adult. And but I got to bring like kids to Disneyland, which was fun and different for me, and got to just see the joy on their faces. You'll see in my photos, my dad and stepmom are there in Monaco with me. I was singing for the church in Monaco, and the ladies there were just like, you know what? We just want to bless you. We just want to take you guys out. They brought us to the Monaco Yacht Club. My dad saw, I'm so bad at sports, I believe it was John Elway. And some actor from The Office. I don't watch TV either. So, and he's still like, yeah, I walked up to John Elway and I said, hey. And he's like, it wasn't a dream of his, but it was a cool thing that I got to indirectly make happen because I was making my own dreams happen. And so it started with me. And then it went out to my friends and family. I was able to also bring another good friend of mine from Monaco who stayed with me in New York for a week. And, I just got an extra bed in my hotel and made it happen. And we just got to spend this awesome week as friends together. And she and I still talk about it to this day. But going beyond me and going beyond my friends and family, I had this dream from years ago, like decades ago. My church had always sponsored these orphans, like a couple of orphanages in Russia. And again, I was super broke. So I would write them letters and I would send a little shoebox and I would do whatever I could. But I always said, one day when I have time and money, I'll sponsor an orphan. One day. It was just a pipe dream. It wasn't really going to happen, unless I won the lottery, I thought. There was no way of actually making these things happen myself. But as I became full, filled myself up and my family members, and then I did get to sponsor an orphan, and I went to Russia to visit her. And then I met my wonderful Zhenya and had sponsored her too, because she's so wonderful and lovely. And now I joke that I have 15 or 20 kids in Russia because out of my overflow, I'm able to give them gifts. Just send them in the mail, no matter how much the postage costs. Send them letters out of the overflow of my heart. And, now I'm able to, I don't sponsor 15 or 20 kids directly, but I'm able to interact and see them every year. I'm actually going again next week. And so I'm super excited if people want to be sending me good vibes and prayers, just that we touch those kids' lives. Now we really work with, so my wonderful Zhenya, she is graduating this year. And some of the orphanages, we were having problems when they would just graduate and there was no continuation. And so we would find they were easy prey for drugs, prostitution. One girl froze to death in a bus stop. I mean, these kids had nothing because they had never been inside a grocery store. Some of them had never had any other form of public transportation. And then they're suddenly in this city, in a dorm, and they know nothing. And so in these camps that I'll be going to next week, we divide them up in groups, and we take them to the grocery store. We plan meals, show them the ingredients, how to go find those ingredients in the store, where they're cheapest to buy them. Then they rotate who does breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the different groups. We'll break them up and have them okay, we're going to go on a scavenger hunt. Take a bus here. Tell us this. Take another form of public transit here. Tell us this. And so they get very comfortable with living in this new environment, with doing things that they've never been exposed to before. I've been teaching them business and finance for years now. And I'm actually teaching business and finance to more than orphans now. And again, it goes from you, but you have to fill yourself up. You really cannot pour from an empty cup. So wherever you are in your vision works, it goes from you and it goes outer and outer and outer, even if you started out selfish, which I totally did. Because when you're coming from emptiness, there's really nowhere else to come from but selfishness. And again, if that's where you start, it's okay. Because as we do this, it increases our faith. It increases our fullness. And I really believe that increasing our faith and our fullness is the key ingredient to manifesting any miracle. When we look in the Bible stories of Jesus healing people, we never ever see him go up to someone and say hey, I healed you. I'm pretty awesome. Never once. He always says, by your faith you are healed. As you believed, so it is. We look at the man with the demon-possessed son, and Jesus says, if you believe it, I can heal him. And he says, help me with my unbelief. So even if we're at this place where I don't know if this is going to work, we can make that our intention, our prayer, help me with my unbelief. And that's a great place to start. There's another program I've gone through that talks about affirmations. And it says, if you're having a hard time with your affirmations, say 5 times before you do it. My affirmations work for me, whether I believe them or not. And so, as we start with, help me with my unbelief, our belief increases. And another point to just show how important that is, we look at, again, the Bible story of Jesus healing people. And it says that he could not do any miracles in his hometown because of their unbelief. So what makes us think that we could do miracles with unbelief? If Christ himself can't work miracles because of people's unbelief, it really makes me know that if I'm looking to do things for myself, for others, and for the world, I've got to get my belief up. I've got to get my faith up. I've got to look at these visions all the time. They have to be somewhere where I can see them and focus on them every day so that I keep believing I can do this. This is on my heart for a reason. And so I'm going to change. My family's going to change. My world is going to change because I have manifested these miracles. And part of manifesting miracles and increasing our faith is asking ourselves some different questions. So instead of, a year down the road going, why don't I have that yet? Oh, just my luck. This always happens to me. Instead of these questions of negativity, what would it take to have this? What would it take to accomplish that? What would it take to believe for this? What would it take to be the person who has this, does this, becomes this? Asking ourselves different questions is the key to also increasing our faith. Asking the divine or whatever your belief is, different questions, instead of why me, what do I need to be seeing that I'm not seeing here? And maybe that even changes the vision. That's okay. I have taken things off of the vision board before because it's just no longer what I want. And that's all right too. So as we get to this place of increasing our belief, we want to believe in a place that it's already done. Thank God, thank the universe, whatever your words are, that it's done. Sometimes I write in my gratitude journal, like, thank you, God, that I, am on Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. That hasn't happened yet, but I think of anyway, thank you for my beautiful family and loving husband, hasn't happened yet either. But I'm just like, in God's time, it's outside of time. The divine is not within our chronological time. So we can thank in advance. And a story about that in the Bible is the Israelites, they're walking through the desert and they need water. And they start singing Spring Up Oh Well, like we did in elementary school, Bible classes, like Spring Up Oh Well, with my soul. And so they're singing Spring Up Oh Well, thank you, God, thank you, God. Well, nothing's happened yet, nothing. And they're thanking him and singing to him and praising him without anything having happened yet. However, they have seen God part the Red Sea, save them from the Egyptians, bring manna down from heaven. They've seen miracles happen in their life over and over and over. And this is part of that gratitude that's instilled into the Hebrew culture, is to continue to sing, continue to praise, continue to remind yourself of how God has been faithful here, and God has been faithful here, and God has been faithful here. And I do that, when I get nervous and I start thinking, oh, I'm definitely not in the right place in life. I'm not doing the right things. And, I really should be here. All these visions should be complete. And what's going on? I remind myself of how God was faithful. Even when my brother died, something horrible like my divorce allowed me to spend the next 4 years with my brother every other day, which of course I wasn't doing when I had stepkids and the family and all these things. And so this horrible thing created me spending all this time with my brother, who I didn't know I only had 4 years left with, that he would die in a motorcycle accident 4 years later. And then even I was trying to get out of Orange County, this was where we were living, and I wanted to travel, like this vision board, right? And I was like, I need to be here. Why am I not here, God? Like, what's going on? And I couldn't get out. I just applied for all these things that later I would actually get, but I couldn't understand why I was stuck. And then the day my brother died, We went to brunch with my family. We gave each other a big hug, kiss on the cheek, and said, I love you, I'll see you later. 4 hours later, had I been traveling, had I been doing all the things I wanted right then, I wouldn't have been there. And so I can thank God, like, thank you for your perfect timing that I didn't get my dream right when I wanted it, because it worked out to spend all this extra time with someone I only have finite time with. Thank you that it reminds me to love on everybody that I'm close to and tell them I love them every day and make sure that every goodbye is just like the one with my brother. You know, I'm loving you, I'll see you later. And I look back at when I moved to Texas and I went on a plane ticket, a prayer, one-way ticket, prayer, no money, no car, no job, no place to live. But I believed in my heart that's where I was supposed to go. And God gave me a car to drive for a year. Thank you, Shannon, if you're watching. And a place to live for a month. Thank you, Crystal. And then thank you, Jessica, for dropping my rent, you know, when I had no money. And I had decided to tithe, which I'll talk about in my financial course, which is coming up at the end of October for those of you who are watching and want to come. And I began to tithe for the first time. I had every once in a while before, but I tithed my $40 out of my $400 paycheck, you know, and rent was going to be $500 for the month, and I had no idea how it would work out. But again, I had that free place for a month, so it worked out. I had that free car for a year, so I was able to build up. And you know, over the course of time, I was able to save $250,000 that I had never even imagined being able to save that kind of money in my life. And I wasn't even making that huge of a salary. I was just like, bonuses would come, or this could break. And I can look and say, wow, I didn't get myself all these things. In fact, the free house for a month came because I was so broke. I couldn't afford a hotel when I went for the job interviews in Houston. And I had to do couchsurfing.com. And I remember someone in Kansas told me about couchsurfing.com, and I was like, no, that's for rapists and serial killers, and I would never do that. But I ended up meeting like my best friend and prayer warrior. Like anytime I need prayer and like good intentions for anything, I call her up. She's got like her whole group on it, and things just manifest because I got like this extra belief. So get yourself a team too. You know, find yourself that team of, if you're the praying type, prayer warriors. If you're the intention type, people who send you good vibes and good intentions. Like surround yourself. I think it's Jim Rohn who says the 5 people you spend the most time with is who you will be like. You will be like them in your weight is the 5 people, an average usually. Your income is the 5 people. Your every aspect is really the people you surround yourself with. So surround yourself with a good team who's going to help you think for that in advance. Be at this place that it's already done and lift you up so that you can better serve as you do the same for them. Of course, you know, this has always got to be this infinity relationship where we're lifting others up and they're lifting us up too. So remember, we have divine breath in us. We have the Creator's energy, life force in us, and so does everybody else. So let's co-create an amazing future that changes the world and inspire those around us to do the same thing. Let's honor the divinity in us and the divinity in others by manifesting a better world. So vision boards are going to increase our thinking, increase our belief, and these are going to be our first tool to get there. So those of us who are here live, we're going to start working on the vision boards. I'm going to explain a little bit to everybody how to do that and then turn off the live streams because I'm not sure if anybody here wants to be videoed. They're going no. And so you're going to take your board. We have a couple extra boards here for those who need it. You're going to take your magazine clippings. I also encourage you, if you'd like, what I would have done on some of these, and I do it on my current vision board now, that is this giant tree that takes up the entire wall and has like branches of the different areas of life. So that's one way of doing it. So this one has like a trunk that says like miracles and high vibrations and all the things that would like get me to these great things. And each branch has a part of life, like social life, romantic life, family life, career and purpose. And then on the leaves of these, it would be like, for instance, career and purpose. For me to get this message out there to help people improve their life, I need to be in more exposure. So I'll have like podcasts, workshops, television, radio. There's different ways to get out, retreats. And I have like this picture of me and Oprah. Well, it's somebody else's body, and I posted my face. I pasted my face onto it. It was like the wrong size, which makes it that much more incredible. And like my face is pasted onto her body, and Oprah's like, "You're so amazing," and I'm like, "Thank you, Oprah." And so I would encourage you. I now like paste my family's faces on the vacation people. If it's not a vacation we've already taken, paste my face on the things. I didn't do that back then, but I really enjoy. It brings me to laughter and this higher vibration of joy and thankfulness when I look at, especially when they're like the wrong size and like really poorly photoshopped or pasted on there. So I encourage everybody. Put your magazine pictures on there, then cut out more pictures than you need to start, and start sorting. And really, again, if you're like the meditating type or the praying type, sit with the pictures and really let your intuition tell you like what is worthy of going on a board and actually coming true. Because as I look at this, pretty much all of this has come true. Like I was on a different kind of private jet, but I was on a private jet. I was living in France half the year. I was, going to help food. Oh, it says life is magnifique. We tell this joke that, a person who speaks many languages is multilingual, right? 2 languages is bilingual. And 1 language is American. So, I was this typical American speaking 1 language, but I loved languages and I wanted to speak them so bad. And I would like practice and write and read and take classes, nothing. But as the years went on and I just like became this different person that I envisioned, now I speak 4 languages at varying levels of fluency and frequency. So, paste your faces on there. I highly, highly recommend that. So again, you could do the full tree like me. This one's much more collage-like. It's like, so you can have a board like about this size and put like collages all over it. Another way that I've seen do this, and I feel like men tend to like this way better, Bob Proctor says that you should only have 2 dreams at once, 1 personal and 1 professional. And so, again, I'm a gazillion, so that's not necessarily true, but, and it could be a lifestyle, so they could be many. But some people like to post like 1 personal and 1 professional and put their words around that. So it's words and pictures. So I've seen somebody who maybe has like a 6-pack abs on there, and they put like, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm blah, 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 blah. These I am statements are very, very powerful. I am healthy, I am this, is very powerful. And then they'll have like maybe their professional thing on here, and this, I am a CEO of this, or I am a successful entrepreneur, whatever it is. So there's many ways to make vision boards. And I want you to, again, sit with what works for you, whether that's the more focused or very collage-y, all over the place, like me. So again, thank you all for attending, and I'm going to be working with people here a little bit more. And those of you who are on the live stream, please send me pictures of your vision boards in process and finished. I'd love to see it. Thanks so much. All right, we're going to start. Wait. Cool. All right, we're going to end this one. Thank you, everybody. And then we're going to end this one. Thanks, everyone. And